So the question that I get asked very often is, what do you prefer, theatre or cinema? So I respond with the boring truth, which is, well, I'm a performer. I love to perform, be it on stage or in front of the camera or even in my living room. I just love to perform. Just for fun, I wish they'd change that up. I don't know, ask me something completely different, like, what do you prefer, the vanity van or the green room? Now see, that would be an easy one to pick, the green room. No, really, the green room is my favorite room in the entire world. I'll explain. So my parents did a lot of theatre back in the day, one still does. And so when friends and family weren't free to babysit me, I'd be backstage in the green room, watching people transform. You know, green rooms have this distinct smell. I remember back in the day, it used to be chai, cigarettes, chutney sandwiches and cologne. The cologne that Makeup Dada would put on his hands before applying makeup on any artist. And this unrehearsed, synchronized prep that would go on in a green room before the natak was about to begin, that was my favorite play to watch. And the choreography was same every time. First, Dada would take that cologne, few drops of it on his palm, rigorously rub it between his hands, and he was ready. Then he'd take out this flat steel box which had different flesh tones in it. Then he'd dig his ring finger into one of the flesh tones and first apply a dot of it on the makeup mirror, then on the actor's face, and then he would say a quick silent prayer. Then came the water spray. One pump in the air and 3-4 pumps on the actor's face. Then a freshly cut square of malmal would be used to wipe off the excess. Then the sponge. He would douse the sponge with water, take the sponge, dig it into the flesh tones, swish it all about, and then with deft strokes apply makeup on the actor's face. And this ritual would continue for one actor after the other, till those flesh-colored dots would become a triangle. And as fascinating it was to watch this triangle, the most fascinating part was watching Mom get ready for work. Because that was the only time I could see what was inside her grey VIP makeup box. Now see, back at home I wasn't allowed to touch it. Forget looking at it. But in the green room, that is where I could see and I could ogle at Ma's grey VIP makeup box. And it was full of pots and potions and paints and colors. Fascinating. Oof. Now Ma did her makeup a little differently than Makeup Dada did. She would start with rose water. It would be sprayed all over her face, and then a freshly cut malmal square would be used to wipe off the excess. She didn't have a flat steel box, but she had these fat roll-up tubes of flesh-colored paint that, you know, she would use her wrist to warm up, or the naked bulb by the makeup mirror, and then she'd take that flesh-colored paint, put a few dots all over her face, and more often than not, use her fingers to paint her face. And while she was doing this, she'd be rehearsing her lines sometimes, or talking to me and asking me what I did during the day, or talking to her co-star about life. Then came the brushes. And the order was same every time. Contour, blush, eyeshadow, eyeliner, eyebrow pencil, which was sharpened with a blade that Makeup Dada had if she had forgotten her sharpener at home. Then came the lip liner, the lipstick, and then came my favorite product in the entire world, the mascara. The mascara was, it wasn't in a tube. It was in this small pink Lakme dibbi, which must have been as big as my thumb. You'd open it up and you'd see this rectangle of black paint with a mini toothbrush right below it. And watching her apply this makeup was like watching a science experiment, because you had to be swift, you had to be precise, and it had to have the right amount of water. So she would first put a few drops of water in that black paint, take that mini toothbrush, swish it about till she got as much product as she could, and then she'd apply it on her lashes. The same steps would repeat for her other set of lashes, and she was ready. And then on cue came the freshly ironed costumes, every fold crisp. And the actors would emerge from the green rooms transformed. Then came the prayers and the huddle. Now my father was always in charge of that, the prayers before the show. The entire cast and crew would get onto stage, onto set, And while the audience murmured and laughed and tickets rustled while the ushers led people to their seats, we on the other side of the curtain would pray. The prayer would end with my dad smashing a coconut onto stage, sprinkling the water on the cast, the crew, onto the set, on me, and they were ready. They took their places in the wings with nervous excitement. The curtains came up and the play began. Now, as an actor today, I see similar patterns. I applied my makeup the same way Ma did, well, at least the order is the same. And sometimes I'm even rehearsing my lines while I'm at it. Some green rooms even have chutney sandwiches. And there's always the huddle and the prayers that we must do before every show, before we take our places in the wings with that same nervous excitement. Yeah. I know this is not really about my preference of green rooms over vanity vans. It isn't. I know. It's actually me professing my undying love of green rooms. Honestly, out of all the rooms in the world, the green room is my favorite room. I hope you guys like that, and if you'd like to watch more, please like, share and subscribe to Community, and don't forget to leave a comment, and I really hope you liked it. Yeah, leave a comment, let me know what you thought about it. Bye.